let me give you the background to the story. So the brother in question said because he's turned 40, he's not achieving. Well, I wouldn't say he's not achieving, but certain persons believe that he hasn't, reached. 1 second. Yeah, I think this is nice. I look, you can see that chocolate. I'm really glowing now. So, anyways, the family believes that he's not doing well for himself, and he hasn't achieved this, and also he's also getting bombarded by his wife. This whole idea of you're 40, you should have built a home. Mom and dad back in Africa saying by now he should have built a house for them. Oh, he's basically is like a never to do well type. Now, first of all, I'd like to say success, as far as I'm concerned, is subjective. Okay. Success is obsessively, obsessively being the objective word. Success is obsessively quantified in terms of money, which is unfortunate. Okay. We live in a world where people have a yardstick where success is measured in terms of monetary accumulation, how affluential you are, how much you've got in your bank balance. So if you haven't got £100,000 or $100,000 or $1 million to yourself, people, the society, your wife, your husband, your mother, your mother's brother, your father, everybody has an opinion to condemn you, right? People who are in at the top, they're pushed. We're sold a fundamentally flawed idea in the society that we live in, that money is what makes success. Now, success is subjective. For some people, having $100,000 or $50,000 a job, a year job, or £100,000 a year job, for them, they regard that as being successful, right? Having two properties to their name or parcel of land, those things are great. They're nice to have in terms of investment, or alleviating poverty for the next generation, our children and stuff like that. They're fantastic, right? But some people, it might just be their definition of success is they're just happy and content by living in the countryside or in the village quietly with their family. For them, they found success. Watching their children grow healthy, for them, that's the definition of success. For some people, they find happiness they find success in just loving their spouse, or their spouse, vice versa. And some people find success in building their community, or taking care of their parents, or whatever floats their boat. But there is this generalized narration of success, which is also backed up by the template that's been forced down our lungs by the mainstream, the society, they pretty much dictate. There's a template of how you're expected to see success. So these affect a lot of us. Unbeknown to us, we adopt a warped mentality of success. So you're 40-year-old and depression kicks in. You're trying to keep up with the Joneses. You're looking at the guy next door. You're looking at your mates. I'm going to add to that, right? And then you take yourself to the drawing board and you start to beat yourself up. You start to condemn yourself, and then envy kicks in. You actually lose focus on the things that are crucial in your life, however small, however big, because what you're doing at that point is you're looking at everybody. Oh, he's got a BMW. Oh, he's bought a house. Oh, he's got this parcel of land. It's nice to be inspired, but because of the warped template of existence that the society, for generations before I was even thought of, I've put in place, is the same thing about weight and size. This is why sometimes when I get in conversations with females, women, I say, oh, I want to be a size 8. Where did you get the concept of size 8, size 10 from? It's the society. So if you're a plus size woman, the society has put it in place that you're unacceptable, that you're not visually appealing, that you look terrible, that you're meant to be size 8, you're meant to be as flat as an envelope, you're meant to be as flat as a credit card, your waistline is meant to be a certain size. These are the things that the society have put in place. I mean, there is nothing wrong with being plus size as long as you are healthy. Does that make sense? So these sorry, what empowerment have they given to the person of 40? Sorry, let me see some of the comments here. So it's the mentality that a lot of people have adopted in the society that we live in is fundamentally flawed and destroyed so many people's thought process and their lives, and it's really sabotaged the way we function as a people. Because why? Certain people have put this template of existence in place. Now, I'm going to go back to this brother, right? I'm going somewhere. So all I'm saying is, before I finish this brother's story, please don't let a generalized narration in the mainstream dictate your definition of success. Don't spend the rest or the best part of your life or existence as a human being living by the rules or the template of existence that's been put in place by other people. Does that make sense? Having said that, this segment is not me trying to advocate for laziness or asking you to be a couch potato because I'm saying don't look at other people. Okay, it's great, it's nice to be inspired, to be driven, but don't live your life based on other people's template of existence. This is why people end up depressed. This is why you end up making catastrophic or disgraceful decisions, and that end push you into the pit in the long run. Does that make sense? So all I'm effectively saying is, define your own success indifferent to other people's influence, and stop giving a fuck about other people's opinions on your definition. Success is subjective. Does that make sense? So let's go back to this brother, right? So this brother basically said, he's had the last 4 or 5 years has been absolutely challenging. He's lost his job. He's been financially challenged and all that stuff. And he said at the age of 40, so he listed a couple of bullet points. He said at the age of 40, Phrankleen, I have a plot of land, 2 plots of land to myself in Africa. Of course, from the age of 34, I did try to start developing on one of the plots of land. And he said the plots of land they've gone up in value. So basically, he's not been able to start the building project and all that stuff. So, everyone has desires and goals. At 34, 35, his desire was, before the age of 40, I'd have built myself a duplex or whatever in Africa. Okay, that hasn't happened. And then he then faced job loss, catastrophic life happens. And then in the last couple of years, his finance took a big blow and stuff. And then financially, that's basically also put a strain within his relationship. And one of the worst things that can happen to you is to have a partner that starts to turn to you with whatever failures or challenges you're faced with at this point in your life. Does that make sense? So there's been snide remarks from his wife. Yeah. I'm not saying you're not trying, but we're getting older. You should have done this and this. And then what really infuriates me. So I asked this brother via email, and I said, if you don't mind me asking, your wife is condemning you. That to me is a major red flag. Sorry, how has she contributed positively to your life? I'm not even talking about, you giving birth. That's a choice. So don't tell me I gave you kids. You both are responsible for bringing children to existence. Because some women will say, oh, I gave you children. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. We both brought children into existence. So let's put that on the shelf. Okay. And we have a joint responsibility for the welfare of those children. So you're not doing anybody any favors. Does that make sense? Now, how has that woman contributed or affected you positively? The brother came back. He said he finds it really difficult to be able to pinpoint. He said everything it's always she has opinion and she runs to religious leaders. You know my stance in that regard, so I'm not even going to go in that direction. Now, there is something that I've discovered. You know, when you listen to people in the society, Mr. Charles, I can see you in the background. Just give me time. When we're done, I'll bring you on. All right? Cool, my brother. So, when you hear people's success stories, like, oh, such and such, oh, he started selling televisions and today he's worth multi-millions, right? Oh, this guy started a fruit business and today he has numerous stores across the country, across the United States or globally. He's become a major brand name. Oh, Dangote is the richest man in Africa. You know, this story have been thrown about 1,000,000,001 times. You hear all these stories and you beat yourself up. Now, I want to make something distinctively clear. I have a huge respect for people's success stories, but my observation is 99.9% of times, most success stories as we know them have been greatly modified. There was a lot of concealed background stories to a lot of people, a lot of names, popular names that you know in the society today, whether locally or globally, right? Oh, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of university, blah, 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 and he set up Facebook. Look at him today. He's worth billions. It's a big lie. And people take all these condensed, modified, untrue success stories. And that's not to discredit anyone, because people never tell you the true story. What do I mean? I'll give you a classic example. So, years ago, a childhood friend that used to live here in the UK, right? He had traveled to the UK on, let me say, the wrong type of visa, right? So, hey, if you can see me, you can hear me, smash the like button, give us the, you know, the thumb up button, please smash the like button, right? Right. So as I was saying, my friend came here, right? Years ago. I'm going somewhere with this. So he had complications with his regularizing his status in the UK. I'm giving this to you raw. He met this lady who was of the EU, European origin and stuff like that. They were dating, and the lady was going to help him regularize his stay in the UK. So the long and short of what happened down the line was the lady's siblings, brothers, kind of inflicted her mind with dodgy ideas. Then she turned around. They were dating and said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to bill you, or you're gonna have to pay me." Blah 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 blah. They were dating at first. So he said, so my friend at the time, being desperate to regularize his status, paid the lady, as I heard. I wasn't exactly aware. Later on, had paid her X amount of money, you know, because of course our brothers forced her to get money off him. Now, she took the money, ran to Poland, canceled the application in the background, ran out of the UK, he ran back to Poland. He lost about £12,000. Boom! Now, if that had happened, watch this, to a regular immigrant in the UK, to be able to recover from a £12,000 loss might take you years. Some people might not even recover. Facts. especially if they're illegal, right? I'm going somewhere. So he was betwixt the crux. He was in the middle of crossroads. He was frustrated. He was angry and stuff. Then he rang his mom and dad back in Nigeria, told them about the dilemma and the situation. The mom and dad was like, what? Because they would always send him pocket money. He was here in the UK. So it turned out that the mom and dad didn't know about his ID. And the mom said, nope, don't do anything illegal, blah, blah, blah. Come back home to Nigeria. Now, he went back. Mom and dad got this massive clothing business that sell natives and all these fabrics, nice Ankara and all this Guinea. Big family business. So mom pretty much just fleshed out a chunk of business for this brother. Literally, they babysat him and gave him a chunk of the business. Today, this guy can always talk about, if you look at this guy today, he's well off. He's making a ton of money. He's sitting on multi-millions. Now, if you look at these from a distance, right, you would call it success. But I want to break this down. This guy, regardless of what happened to him in the UK, he had a soft landing that so many immigrants can only dream of. Does that make sense? So basically, mom and dad are well off in Africa. They are well off. They got money. They got businesses. Hey, come back home. He packed his bag and baggages. He disappeared, right? They gave him millions of naira. They sell business for him. Dad gave him one of the bungalows, one of the properties, gave him a 4-bedroom bungalow. They even put pressure on him. 2 years later, he got married. Dad gave him a brand new bungalow. His father built the bungalow. If you look at these from a distance, I'm going somewhere with this. Many people would call it success, but that's an aided success. He had a soft landing. Now, compare that with the same, somebody like me, I'm his age mate. Let me tell you, I have nobody. Whatever I have to my name as I'm sat here, nobody has ever given Phrankleen anything, not even my parents. So, do you see now? If I sit on the pity potty and I start to beat myself up, I'm looking at this guy. He has a 4-bedroom bungalow. He drives. He's got about 3 cars to himself. He has a thriving business. This guy had a soft landing. Even when he was here, his parents bi-monthly will remit money to him here in the UK. He was flexing whilst other people will go work 15, 16 hours a day to earn a living and pay their way within the UK system. Does that make sense? So there are so many stories, right? There was a lady that I saw on Instagram recently. She has a successful shoes and bags and women's hair and stuff business on Instagram, and also a physical shop somewhere in Lagos. Somebody that knows her very well said her parent gave her 30 million naira to start the business. Did you hear what I said? Her parents. Now, I'm not condemning the fact that if you're blessed enough, you're lucky. But my point is, for you to have a mom and dad that can say, take 30 million naira to get yourself off the ground to start a business, that means your mom and dad are in fact wealthy. They are bloody loaded. Does that make sense? Now, when you see these people online, there is a plethora, there is a truckload of regular people that are going to be like, oh man, I want what she's got. How many regular people you know are able to just wake up and save 30 million naira? Even if you live abroad, you live in the West. Do you see what I'm saying to you? Mom and dad can just say to you, hey, take 30 million naira, go to Dubai, go to Turkey, go to the States or whatever, go and buy box load of shoes and all that. They pay for your shop your shop rent, your business premises for 2 years. I can sit here and give you stories. The reason I'm saying this, when you see these people, when they come into the public domain, they will hijack statement like, oh, boss chick, women empowerment. No man, I didn't put my back on the floor or spread my legs for any man to give me money before building my empire. I worked my way to the top. Nobody's saying, accusing you of busting your legs wide open. And if you did, that's your cup of tea. But there are so many countless number of success stories out there that are fundamentally flawed. This is why it's important for people to be very, very careful. And I'm not saying this to say because you find that Mr. X is successful for you to make up imaginary stories or become jealous and try to discredit people's progress. No, but you've got to be very careful in how you use other people as a yardstick for success. There are people with soft landing. Take, for example, a lot of African diasporans live abroad. Do you know that everybody that live abroad, all of us that live abroad, everyone has got different story and different background as to how they've come abroad. Some people come up to the UK and maybe you have to manage with a friend of yours. They kick you out. You go to the next person's house. You go to the next person's place. You have got no papers. You have to struggle. You're running from immigration. Life has been absolutely rough for the past 10 to 15 years before some people eventually got their papers. Some people are coming straight from Africa. Maybe their mom and dad are already in the system. They've paid their dues. They already have their homes. So you're coming from Africa. You already have your bed ready. You already have a room in the house. Your mom and dad have paid their ways. So this is what I call soft landing. Now, for somebody who has had to do cleaning jobs and sleep in their uncle's house, they got kicked out after 3 months, immigration palaver and stuff. I know people who their mom and dad filed papers for them straight from Nigeria. They came from Nigeria to the UK with indefinite leave to remain. There are people that came straight to the UK with permanent residence because they had soft landing to benefit from. So when you have indefinite to come in straight away, you have a home to come into. That's unbelievable amount of advantage. There's food in the fridge, there is a warm house. It's very, very easy. So people like that, you can easily just say, okay, you want to go study nursing or you want to go do these qualifications and stuff, get yourself, that's an amazing, now I repeat, I am not condemning it. If you have the privilege of benefiting from any kind of soft landing, fantastic. If your mom and dad have paid the dues and they were able to bring you in, or you have an older brother or a sibling to help you, it's great. But what drives me up the wall, what I personally find deeply infuriating, are the people that conceal the true details of their journey. So when you see somebody, you came from Nigeria, you landed in your mom's house or your uncle's house, there is 3 square meals, and your uncle literally paid for you to go and get project management training, go there, do this, do that. I know some people that come, they land and they have people already helping them to package their CVs. They have uncles, they have family members in the system with established businesses that they can use as references to enhance their CVs so that they can get into the job market. But there are some people, you might actually be the only person who has ever traveled abroad from your family, from within your family structure back home. So you pretty much have nobody. You're starting from scratch. You have 2, 3 jobs. This is why it's important to actually know people's story. I'm absolutely infuriated by liars. I'm a great respecter of genuine grass to grace stories. But I'm sick and tired of liars. They would condense. They would condense the stories. I personally know people here in the UK that when you were going to buy your home, they'll tell you they've got mortgage. Oh, I've got my house. I've got my house. Your mom and dad gave you deposits. They didn't lend you. They actually said, here is £20,000 towards your first property to help you get into on the property ladder. Do you know what it means for me as an individual that has no support? I have to toil hard to save £20,000 if I want to buy the same property as you. Again, I'm not condemning anybody, but these people will then come on Instagram, will come on Facebook, will come on social media and say, I want to give praise to God because it's been so good to me. Because I remember 5 years ago, I told God that before I'm 30, I want to buy my first property. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Boy, if you don't keep your mouth and sit your backside down and tell us the truth, that mom and dad cut you a check of £20,000. So if that lady or that brother got a check from their mom or their dad for 20 grand that they can put deposit down and then they have a key to a property, here you are. Doesn't make you less of who you are. Doesn't mean you're incompetent. Doesn't mean you're not good enough. But you've bought into the lies of these charlatans, and then you start beating yourself up and you're like, oh man, oh, such and such owns a property now. Wow. I'm 38, man. I'm 40. Wow. Such and such has moved to Kent. I know a dude years ago. He was working here in the UK. It wasn't all that. He had a regular job, right? He had a regular job like any other person. He was actually earning about £35,000 a year living in London. Anybody that knows London knows that £35,000 a year, big deal. That's just basic stuff, right? But guess what? Dad died in Nigeria. Even though their dad had abandoned them during their childhood, right? Had gone to marry another woman. So dad left a really robust will. And then this guy, they cut him a huge chunk from his dad's will. That money that the guy benefited from the will in Nigeria was about, if you convert it to the money here in the UK, about £130,000. How many regular people you know have 130 racks to themselves? Dude came back to the UK. He was able to take some of that money, bought homes and upgraded his life. That's great. Thanks to the massive blessing from your father, because you couldn't have done that yourself. He moved from Southeast London to Kent. He's living a good life. He upgraded his life. That's great. That's fantastic. But few years down the line, he became cocky. He was sat somewhere looking down on some of his peers and like, dude, man, this country, I worked my way to the top, and yeah, in life you got to be dedicated. Boy, if you don't shut your mouth. So one of our friends that knows him very well, like, yo, are you serious? We know that you benefited from a windfall from your dead father. So why are you lying? Do you see what I'm saying? So if I'm not privy to the background of this guy's story, and I'm just looking at him from the front end, I'll become pointlessly jealous. I'll start beating myself up. It's brilliant. It's okay to be inspired. It's all right. Do what you got to do, though. But what I'm effectively saying is, you've got to be careful about your definition of success. Be comfortable in your skin. There are people who made it at the age of 50. There are people who made it in their 30s. There are people who made it, became multimillionaires in their 60s. As long as you are on track, you get with the times, you're focused, you have a plan. Don't let anybody tell you that you are inadequate. Sometimes these family members, even some of these partners, the reason some of these people, they themselves are lazy charlatans. And the reason why people start to point finger, especially parents, man, don't get me started on those parents, man, that start to tell you that you are inadequate. Oh, you should have built a home. Especially those parents who don't have homes themselves. They are very, strongly opinionated. The reason is a lot of those people are just waiting by the sidelines. They are leeches. They want to benefit from you. That's why. That's why they do that. Of course, like I said earlier, I'm not advocating for laziness. I'm not asking you to use my narrative or to as an excuse to just rest your balls on the couch or just be flat-footed and do nothing about life. No. But most of the success story, people, oh, Warren Buffett, blah, 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 all these people that you name, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, it's lies. They come from unbelievably wealthy family, bloodlines. When they were born as babies, they were already born as multi-millionaires. They were born into wealth. So you read all these memes, you read all this stuff, and then you start talking about, Mark Zuckerberg dropped out of university. That's a lie. They deliberately, it's all intentional, rolled out these narratives to fool the society. Go and look into the background of Mark Zuckerberg, man. He's from a filthily rich family. Yeah, somebody said bloodlines from former slave owners. Yeah, and most of their bloodlines, they made a truckload of money from selling slaves. That's a whole nother topic. This is not race specific, but you get the gist. Success, you got to be comfortable in your skin. Like I said, there are two separate things. I respect people's journey. As long as you're disseminating the truth about your journey, your grass to grace, you've not modified it. You're not indulging in, any kind of misdirections and garnishing and editing the stories and spicing it and making us believe. There's been some people that have been caught out. Oh, I slept in cars. I remember sleeping in my car for 3 years. They're liars. They never did. You see some of our black folks, brothers and sisters, oh, Bill Gates. Look, because a lot of our people don't read. Go and do your findings into Bill Gates and come back and talk to me. Go and read. All of this, and okay, forget about those big names. Let's bring it home now. Let's bring it home, right? Regular people that you know around you. Find out the true story. You might be looking at some of your friends or your mates and like, this guy has a 190 million naira house in Lekki, in Aja Axis in Nigeria. He's doing XYZ. I'm just saying, I'm not knocking anybody. And I don't do speculations, okay? I don't. But do you know if that money is a money that was raised from money laundering? Do you know? That's why you got to be careful, though. Be very careful. Be very careful. I think the society has made us neck deep in materialism. We glorify money unbelievably. So people have a warped mentality. Go and look at the social media or like Instagram. Every time you find the Otedolas, right? DJ Copy's father. No disrespect to them. They're a good, they are living their best life. Have you not noticed when you go on Instagram, it's the poor man's children are the one there writing all sorts of ridiculous comments, putting them on pedestals and worshiping them like gods because they see them as, oh, I want to be as rich. I can comfortably tell you here, apart from discovering about Femi Otedola within the public domain on social media, I don't know nothing about his background. I just know that within the media, he's called a billionaire. Great. Does that mean I have something against him? No, but I don't know anything about his story though. Everybody talks about Dangote. Great. I know nothing about Dangote. When I say nothing, the only thing you and I know is all we buy into from the mainstream media. Don't forget that the mainstream media is controlled. You don't know nothing. And also, this is what I'm saying, that, success is relative. There are people who have fat bank accounts. They're unable to get pregnant. You have two lovely children, or three, or one. They're healthy. But you're not happy though. There are people who are currently bedridden and they've got fat bank accounts. They've got people wiping their bums. True story. There are so many rich people that appear to be living their best lives, but they're in fact miserable. So success is subjective. It's success is whatever success you choose for success to mean to you, if that makes sense. But please, don't let the society impose on you what success should mean. If you have parents who are beating you up, I don't mean physically, you get what I'm saying? That's a figure of speech. You have parents who are beating you up, or partners who are condemning you. Oh, you're 40 now. Oh, you're inadequate. Oh, you should be at this level. Oh, you should have a mansion. If my father was to say that to me, no disrespect, I like to use myself as an example. I'm just going to politely say, okay, it would be nice if you cut me a check and watch me do something fantastic with that check. So it's as simple as that. There are so many people who are blessed enough. There are some people, oh, my uncle. Even things like in Nigeria, for example, you have a rich uncle who perhaps is in the government, right? You finished your master's degree in the UK in food biology. Are you paying attention? Food biology. You get to Nigeria, your uncle picks up the phone, makes one or two phone calls, you land in within the oil and gas sector. You're earning $5,000 monthly, but you have zero oil and gas knowledge, qualifications, or background. But your uncle has used his influence to place you strategically in a sector where there is an endless queue of men and women who are actually qualified, but they can't get through the doors. Now you see these people bragging, and they sit down, they're enjoying the benefits of that sector. You start measuring their material accumulations, and then you start beating yourself up. Man, Mike is in oil and gas, man. Mike is eating. Mike has made it. And then you condemn yourself. Somebody said something. Let me read this. Access is another factor. We cannot underestimate the advantage that connections and access gives people, even without hard. There are many factors that give people leverage over others. Of course. Thank you, Maria. Well said. Of course. See, I am not. Again, let me emphasize, yeah? If you're privileged or you're blessed enough to have somebody that can open one or two doors, but of course, that's nepotism. Absolutely. Nepotism in king size, in caps lock. Of course it is. That happens every day. If you have the privilege, dad knows someone that can put a call through for you. The people that I'm addressing, the people that I'm actually addressing, that I'm laser targeting my focus upon, are the regular people, the people that have a warped perception of success. Somebody who has benefited tremendously, unbelievably, from nepotism, that have never lifted a foot in their life to really work hard. You might have misconstrued, they are the so-called success. Most of the time, their interpretation of the said success is it's just deeply rooted in misrepresentation. And then you start beating yourself up that you are inadequate. Does that make sense? Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Come on, show your love, man. Hit the like button. For 500 people watching. Please smash that like button. You get what I'm saying? Somebody said, I had 19 years of struggle with that. The struggle is real. So for a regular person, you've got to learn, I suppose in the nutshell, you've got to learn, celebrate every tiny bit of success, medium scale, and the big ones that you've achieved all by yourself. Even if something as simple as you've worked hard, you've worked a few hours, you decided to upgrade yourself to a 60-inch smart TV, for example, flat screen TV, and you've bust your backside. You've paid for that TV, and it sits conveniently at the center point of your living room, right? Some people can easily just say, Dad, Dad, I want to change my home cinema, and their dad can just be like, okay, so what are you looking? I want to buy the latest Samsung. Mom, I want to buy Bangs and Olufsen. I want to change my home cinema, blah blah blah, and their dad can cut them a $10,000 check. Okay, go and buy it. But you haven't got that advantage. You have to bust your backside to even buy the TV. The same thing with your car. The same thing with the little furniture you've got in your house. If your children, you're able to do clothing shopping for your children at a certain clothing store, who cares? As long as your children are nicely dressed, they're well fed, there is food on the table, you're operating within your means. Who cares if the guy next door is able to take his children to Disneyland twice a year? If you can't afford Disneyland at the moment, why beat yourself up? There is something called staycation. If you can't afford to pay for flights to Disneyland, maybe within the UK, you can take your children and your wife. Maybe that would just cost you less than £200 or something, or £300. Save that. Have a nice family weekend getaway, build fantastic memories. You may not be able to afford PlayStation 4 or 5 for your children. If you can afford Monopoly board, that's very cheap to buy. Teach them how to play chess. Read books to them. Find something within your means. Create fantastic memory. Go hiking. Get bicycles for them. Even if they're partly owned bicycles, so what? It's brilliant. Take them to fish and chip shop. Go walking. Why do we have to live by the templates that was set by other people? Facts. Right. So, ladies and gents, right, I'm going to hit on a person a little bit. I want to bring my brother on. Mr. Charles, how you doing, man?
I'm great. Greetings, big bro.
Right. So before I talk about your YouTube channel, what do you think, very quickly, straight to the point, what do you think about what I've been talking about?
Wow. I'm really, first of all, I want to thank you for the the kind of imagination that you have towards life an event like this. It's unique. It's spectacular. Well
Thank
done,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Well done, sir. Because you are able to look at the whole spectrum of event and be able to tell it the way it is, just
Yeah.
like your students stand for. And I I will not blame the woman. You see, I won't blame her because of a lot of ignorance is obviously aspect by her action. Attacking your husband and trying to use other people to compare him and trying to force him to start thinking that he's worthless. I mean, that's the worst thing you can ever do to your mate.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's the worst thing you can ever do to your mate, whether being a male or female, whoever it is. You can't talk your mate down, no matter the circumstances that you're in. It's very troublesome to see that sometimes I'm not trying to be biased here, but most times women find it very hard to control their emotion when it comes to hardship and when things get tough and when they are faced with this. My mate is doing this, my friend is doing this, why am I like this? My family are saying this, my friends are complaining. I mean, this idea of other people suggesting life, suggesting how to live your life and run your home is really bad, and it's just one of the things we try to put an end to as a family as well. We know that there are different people going through this, and uh, it's just too much familiarity on this, especially in the Western world. We, of course, you rightly said, there are a lot of people who came to Europe, any part of the country, out of Africa, for a greener pasture, but a lot of them came through the platter of gold. I
Absolutely.
mean, they were just paid off, and they suffered nothing. They never queued for ticket. They never queued for anything to buy to pack the luggages before coming down here. It was parents that did it for them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's obvious that we have these things all over social media, and then those of us who actually ate our food with bamboo stick and all of those things. You know what I mean? We had time to mix up some things before we were able to find something to eat nice. We suffered, and then we're trying to, like, oh, we can be like this. We are being carried away, not knowing the real truth behind
Yeah.
the scene. And these people are lying to us. That's what one point I can find that you're driving home today. These
Absolutely.
guys are lying to us. Stop listening to the lies that you get on social media. Why not do your background check? Why not find out where they're coming from? And why do you want to even compare your life with
And you
someone
know
else?
what? Sorry to interrupt you, my brother.
Yeah,
You've backed me up nicely. And when I read some of these stories, and that's why my channel, I say it like it is, right? Sometimes when people send me emails, because it's just my nature naturally. I read some emails, and it's like it's me directly involved. I get really infuriated, like, kilele, like, come on, man. Imagine one of the things that can cut through you like a knife is having your mother and father tear you to the ground and tell you are inadequate, like, oh, such and such is built. Like, who are these parents? This is why when I go off on my channel, there are some of our African brothers and sisters, again, it stems from warped mentality. That's why I'm the guy
exactly.
that exists outside the box. I am not
Yeah,
your conventional African guy. I
yeah,
I look at these things critically. A lot of adults that you see in the front end, people are busy. Let me use that slang. They're busy adulting. Some of us are even parents already and stuff. But a
yeah.
lot of us are actually trapped in serious, unrectified trauma.
Wow.
Trauma from when you were a lot younger, when they will beat you down, you're not good enough, you're useless, you're this, a lot of very bad words that have been embedded into the emotions of a lot of men.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
Crazy.
imagine that there's a woman that sent me an email the other night. bruv, I was fighting back tears. She said, Phrankleen, I'm just looking for somebody to talk to. You don't have to make this a video. He said, but your videos have been a major blessing to me. He said, I just came off the phone. She lives in Philadelphia or something in the States. And she said, I just came off the phone with my mom and dad. He said, you're not going to believe that my father called me a basket case because I've been unable to, because I'm 35 and I'm yet to be married and I have not given them grandchildren. How can your father call you a basket case? Akbere.
Terrible.
And the same father starts to then mention, other ladies within the family jurisdiction and friends that she's got, and such as is got children. Oh, her first daughter is even 15. This one's first daughter is already 12-year-old. How can your own father call you a basket case just because you're 35, you're not married? And this is why, this is another thing. I digress, and I'm sure you can relate to this.
Yeah.
One of the that drives me nuts within particularly the African community, but when I narrow it down, the Nigerian community, like even if I'm in the barber shop or I'm even within close family members, right? When I hear people say this, it just drives me up the wall. Women are seen as, it's as if, oh, so you got a business, you're doing well, and you're not married. It's like you're incomplete. Like, what is this thing about you're not married? If you're married, great, fantastic.
Great.
But why is this template of, oh yeah, you're not married, you're never to do well type? Imagine your own father telling you you're a basket case. Terrible. Just because you're married. And this is the same reason why so many, especially young ladies, the social media world that we are in is very toxic. The societies, a lot of people are very ignorant. They rush into different relationships. They make
terrible.
And before you blink, they become baby mothers. They jump in, they jump out. They have 2-3 children. The whole thing is gone sideways. And then the same parents, the same relatives, the same people that forced you into those toxic relationships will be the same people that will beat you up with your circumstance and say, look at you. You got 2 children. There is, oh, Ladiuri, there's no man. Here you are in the middle of nowhere with your life, and then you can't do anything about it. This is why I keep, oh, all my friends are getting married. My friend, will you keep quiet? So what? Oh, yeah, I feel really bad because I've been a bridesmaid for the past 3 years. All my girlfriends are what? To be a groomsman, during somebody's wedding, I see it as, in fact, a blessing. So, like, if I'm your friend and you say, Phrankleen, I want you to be a groomsman at my wedding or renewal of my vows and stuff like that, it's a privilege to be part of your day. So why should that be something to beat myself up that, oh, because Charles has settled down, it means, I'm inadequate. Well, of course, it would be nice if you find the right partner. But if you haven't, why is it that some look, carry on, bro. I'm gonna carry
on. I can see you're fired up, bro. It's annoying. It's annoying. But the reality is, I would say, if anyone is going through that parent attack maliciously, I would say, there's a way to handle that, because you can't change them. Don't even try. All right, they are way too old for you to change them or change the way they think about you.
Yeah.
But there's something you could do for yourself. First, I always tell people, shield yourself, protect yourself from any invading forces that try to destroy your life. Because if you don't do it, I think the major key here that people need to understand that are going through such challenges, that they don't know how to, when their parents talk them down or their parents becomes the bully, you see, of their life. They don't know what to do. I think one of the key things is they haven't been trained emotionally they haven't gained maturity in their emotion. You see, emotional attack from parents is very, very, very destroying. Is very, very bad. We have
Absolutely.
seen a lot of, we have seen a lot of families, a lot of people have lost hope in life completely because of emotional attack from parents. So maturity, preparedness emotionally is very important for any man or woman, especially when it comes to dealing with parents. You have to say to yourself, this is my life. You have to say to yourself, enough is enough. Many girls, many ladies don't know how to say no. They haven't learned to say enough is enough. They haven't learned to put their feet down, say, you know what? This is my life, not yours. And you know what? There's no way, don't be afraid that they're going to lay a curse on you. In fact, they already been a curse already. By the trouble, by the problems they've been causing all your life. So find a way, a strategy to cut things down, limit the conversation. I mean, put things in place. Protect yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. You see, that's
this brother whose story I've been talking about basically said a very lengthy email, but bro, I only read it twice. My head, I just live stream today.
I understand.
The guy said he turned 40 back in July, right? July 26th, and his father sat him down, lecturing him, said, "See, look at you. You're 40. Look at such and such." And this is what this brother said. He said the father mentioned two friends, like two peers, right? Such and such has done this. He knows that those two peers, they do unscrupulous things for a living. You can read between the lines. He said he sat there just looking at his dad, and the dad kept banging on. You don't have a house to yourself. You've not built this. Yeah, if you've done this, you should have built this for me. It's always about me. And I was like, these people they're vultures, man. They are tearing you down because of their concealed selfish interest. And this is how so many people's lives, like you rightly said, they get emotionally destroyed. And then you start to look at yourself like, man, I'm 40, man, bro. Yo, like, man, well, and that's what I was talking earlier about. There's so many. That's why we have to be very careful.
Can I say this, brother? Can I say this, big brother? No one saying, man. I can relate clearly with what you're saying. I wouldn't want to be so specific, but here is a sad line to it. It happens, all right? When a father comes to you, let's say you just graduated, you left school, and after 6 years, no job, and you're trying to, get things going for yourself, and then finally you get a menial job and you're doing it, and then your father has been like, where have you been? I'm coming to come and see you. Where do you live? And you've been actually hiding, trying to survive. Stay away from all of these. Give me, where have you been? Do this, do that. And now he comes to your house. Finally comes after about 5, 6 years trying to get to you. Now he comes to your place and he walks around and he says, is this where you live? Is this how you live?
Yo, bro.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. And he walks around, and this guy is just living in a big Q house, 1 bedroom, right? And then he goes to the kitchen. You don't even have food stuff. And I'm talking about a father. And he comes back, and then normally this guy, his bed, his mattress is on the floor. You know how life is way back home. You're living trying to survive, and his bed is on the floor, and he doesn't even have the furniture set properly. Things are not just in the place the way he expected. And then he walks around and says, man, you know what? I think you should leave this place and come to the house. Come and stay and leave. The guy just ran away from your house over 6 years ago because of your torment. And now you're asking him to come back there. And all you could say is to run him down. And guess what? 5 days later, specifically 5 days later, The guy calls his father on the phone, and guess what number is? It's
What?
not even, it's not traceable to Nigeria. It's not traceable to Africa. The guy is calling from Europe, and he's like, is it true that you're calling me from there? Yeah, I'm just calling you to let you know that I'm here. And I didn't go through land. I flew the air. 6 hours I was down here. How did it happen? Till date, it's like a shaking event that happened to him. He couldn't still believe it because there was no contribution from him or from anyone he knows. Not knowing this young guy for the past 6 years have been piling up savings to take that trip. And to him, as a father, the guy was nothing. But today, he's like a king in his eyes.
See?
So what I'm trying to say is there's a moment when those things are happening. Shut them out. Completely shield yourself and stick to a plan. By the time you have this stuff and you're doing things, I mean, you're already there, you're having this stuff and things are working out for you, they begin to be the one that are like, if you don't cough, they can't move. You know what? If you don't cough, they can't do things. So that's the way I see it. But if we emotionally attach ourselves to those things they are saying and doing, we will not move. We will hold ourselves backward. We'll be affected by those things. And our decisions will be affected as well. And no more progress because we are just looking backward, looking at the thing that they're saying and it's drawing them back. So in reality, that is how I feel to handle such parents. You don't need to do anything to them. Just shield yourself. Try as much as possible, protect yourself.
Slow down, bro. Slow down. Slow down. You're going to carry on. So, guys, people that are watching, let me introduce my brother to you, man. I'm going to let him talk about his channel, okay? So I need you to do me a favor. We're trying to, he's a YouTuber, right? He runs a YouTube channel. That's a link to his channel. I want you to show him love. Please, I'm still going to feature him at a subsequent live stream again because I like his thought process. I like his energy. So, Mr. Charles and his lovely wife, they have a YouTube channel called Family Aspect, okay? Family Aspect, it's about building a healthy home. They talk about Christian marriage advice, marriage counseling, relationship counseling. So I'm sure you would enjoy his content. He's fairly young on the YouTube platform, and the only way we can grow is we support ourselves. So please, I told Mr. Charles to be here with me today. And yeah, thank you, Rosemary, for subscribing. Please follow the link that I've posted. Family Aspect. You'll see him with his glasses just like me. And so yes, please show him love. Please smash that subscribe button. Let's get him to about what, 1,000 more subscribers and stuff. I'm still going to bring him to a subsequent live stream and where, you know, because I love the energy. I think it's been on my stream before and stuff. Yeah, thank you for those that are already subscribed. Please keep on supporting the channel. All right. So, bro.
Yes.
Like I was, Family Aspect. Okay. If you want to search for it, it's called Family Aspect. You will see him in the search result, or you follow the link that I've just, you know, posted. All I'm saying, right? I'm glad, you know, you've come at some very interesting angles and stuff. Unfortunately, like I said at the start of the stream, and I've said, you know, repeatedly, thank you for showing love to Mr. Charles. Please keep subscribing, check out his channel and show him love, man. I appreciate you. Now, like I was saying, thank you for your contributions, which I'm sure people appreciate as well. And it worries me sick because every time you might find yourself in a social gathering and you know, it might be maybe a restaurant or a friend's house or a party, indoor, you know, external, whatever. And when people are talking about success and all these things, right? Have you not noticed that the immediate reaction of a lot of people is success is measured by material accumulation? What people can see. And again, These feeds, I'm talking about someone who's lived in the diaspora for, for many years. These feeds into how countless number of black people get into debt, because the idea of this is how they're meant to see me. This is how I want people to see me, even when you don't have it, when you ain't got it like that. Do you see? That's why people will get out of their way to go and get cars that they can't really afford to pay for monthly, get into, go and buy. I remember a couple of years ago, there was a guy, we like peers, age mates, right? He was living in a 3-bedroom, pretty, decent house. Sorry, let me see this. 1 second, bear with me.
Okay.
It was living in a what do you call? In a 3-bedroom house that's now got a nice back garden and all that stuff. Yeah, he was doing well, but because certain so-called friends within cliques or families, he was kind of shadowing, such and such has moved to what these jurisdiction, other part of the country. They are, oh, this is driving an Audi Q7, blah 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 blah. And then you find that you then adopt unnecessary
Exactly.
burden, all because you want to prove a point. And people start, you deprive yourself. Maybe that money could have gone into improving the quality of life of your children, or maybe yourself, or something like that. You adopt all this financial burden, husband and wife, or even yourself, just because you want to prove a point. Bruv, people get into debt. I
Terribly.
I I
Terribly.
digress. So this was for 3-4 days ago. I bumped into this guy. He's a young dude. Phrankleen, he just saw me somewhere. What's your channel? How you doing, bro? I was like, hey, what's going on, man? He's a lot younger. And he had these Balenciagas, sneakers, right? And I'm like, bro, your balance look fire. So that opened a different type of conversation, right? So what caught my attention was, whilst I was complimenting him that, oh, your Balenciagas look nice and stuff. How much did you buy them? It's about £700. I'm like, oh wow, fire. Yeah. I don't know him. I don't know his background. He could have that money like that. I'm not judging anybody. That's fine. That's fine. Then he alluded to, we live in these council estates, blah 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 blah. My mom's this country, there's injustice, and it was talking about racism and all that. So I paid attention, and it goes, my mom's facing eviction by the local council because we have rent arrears running to £3,000. Yeah. So now that caught my attention. Of course, I felt sorry for him. I had empathy, and I said, oh, wow, £3,000. So what are you going to do now? He goes, man, we have an appointment to see our local MP to go and talk to him and see what he can do, blah, 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 blah. So I said, are you working? What are you doing to support your mom, right? I work in a clothing store. The money's not all that great, blah, blah, blah. So in my head, I was saying, Phrankleen, keep quiet. But then I said, bro, you just told me, though, just not too long ago, that your Balenciaga trainers, you bought these like a week ago. So you paid £700 for this. And your mom is facing eviction, and you live in the same house. So as soon as I said that, you could see the defense.
Exactly.
Became defensive, and then he was actually immediately trying to dismiss me. Like say, well, bro, well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, man. I said, bro, come. I'm not gonna let you.
Let's iron your matter. Where you going, man?
bro, no disrespect, forgive me, okay? I said, but bro, can I be honest? I said, first of all, you're younger than me, all right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to talk to you like a younger one. I said, look, you know what? You know what I'm about to come out with, and you
Mm-hmm.
instantaneously dismiss me so you can run. I said, bro, this is heightened selfishness and misplacement of priority.
Misplacement of priority.
I said, you live in the same house as your mom. They about to kick you out for the £3,000 plus worth of arrears, and you've just splashed
And
out
you
700 quid. I said,
700 quid.
so I told him, I said, if you had put that 700 quid to help your mom on the arrears, I said, knowing how the councils work, they wouldn't kick your
Mm-hmm.
mom. You give them 700,
Definitely.
and then you just make arrangements for paying the rest off bit by bit, and
Bit by
they'll
bit.
and then he was like, no, 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 no. It was my boy, isn't it? Because like, oh, now watch this, watch this. This is where I'm going. He was like, no, no, no. I get what you're saying, yeah. I said, but like some of my boys, yeah, like, like they're like proper, like. I said, oh, it's only two of us that's not driving at the moment. You know what I mean? So when we hang out, yeah, you look like you are the, like
Oh, dear.
you're not doing well.
Oh,
So
dear.
so man's got to stay fly, and you got to represent. You get me?
Oh,
Uh,
dear.
but this guy
Solution of agitation.
told
Wow.
me that he's 24. We might say, oh, because he's 24, maybe because there's youthful exuberance. And bro, there are 40-year-olds, 45-year-olds, and 50-year-olds that live that same type of life.
You're right.
They were getting
Absolutely.
debt. They were getting debt with material things for parties and golds and cars and stuff, all in the name of trying to show these fake image of success. But deep down inside, you are broke
Damn,
than
bro.
broke. And this is the story for so many people. You're trying to. Thank you for subscribing to Mr. Charles's site.
Family
Page.
asset, family assets. Thank you.
Link
Thank
on the
you.
page. Click on it. And this is just a random example, and it's the same way so many people go about living their lives. I think the message has been passed. If you have my closing message will be, if you have family members who, especially parents and stuff, this is why I say to people, and you said it earlier, especially females and stuff, because of we a lot of us have been raised with these, oh, I'm going to curse you out, I'm going to do this. You are too afraid to remove yourself.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
can you be so dependent on toxic people? Oh, because it's my
Terrible.
dad. But your dad is inflicting you with trauma.
Terrible.
Your dad is saying you're not good enough just because
Terrible.
of his own concealed selfish interest. And then you still keep on latching onto the father.
I don't know why I should be listening to that kind of a father who doesn't see anything good in me. You see, it's very, very important that we all understand that there is.
My brother, hold on, I'll let
Yeah.
you talk. Let me add one final thing, yeah?
Yes, sir.
And I know there are certain people that are watching this that are going to get pissed off, but you know what? I don't care. I will say it anyway. The reason, you know what I was saying earlier about there are so many condensed success stories.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
People that live in the UK, if you're a contractor, you're a professional, particularly if you're a contractor, you know exactly what I'm about to say to you. I'm going to piss some people off. I'll say it anyway. But there is a reason why I'm saying it. I'm not being antagonistic of your journey, but it's to help people change their thought process and perceptions. Okay. So you're working in the professional field. You're a project manager, right? You're a business analyst. You're earning £500 a day. You're earning £600 a day. You're earning £750 a day. Now, we're talking about being honest about our success stories. It's great. But do you know that In order for you to keep a bulk of that contract money, which a lot of people have benefited tremendously from. Again, there is nothing wrong with that. You have to sort of navigate the system in a clever way to keep a chunk of that money. If you are actually going to be black and white with a tax man, half of that money goes, pow. That's a fact. If
Yeah.
you want to play the actual template of black and white with the tax man, about half of that money goes off the jump. Boom. I don't care if you're on £700 a day, but you gotta go through a limited company, and then we go around in merry-go-round circles to keep a chunk of that money. Am I knocking you for that?
No.
Absolutely not. You got to do what you got to do to try to better your life because you're trying to keep that. That's why they brought in the IR35 to destabilize the whole structure. There is nothing wrong with the contracting sector, but we live in England. This is the white man's country. They just decided to disrupt everything. And, 2021, the IR35, I'm sure you know, would kick in. Here is the point. You find brothers and sisters in our community, when they've earned a bit of contract money and their chicks have grown big now, they live in Kent now. Oh, people living in Kent will say, Franklin, what do you have with Kent? Kent is a beautiful part of the country, actually. I just like to.
I live in Kent, bro. That's where I live, bro.
Hey! It's just a figure of speech. You get the way I'm going. But what I'm saying is, the moment you're now benefiting from that contract money, their mindset become twisted. Do you see what I'm saying? Then they become cocky. Then they start to tell these, look, bro, I'm pro-black. We know our brothers and sisters that you know that somebody had to babysit you to get that contracting sector. Somebody helped you to break through the door. You had to tweak your CV. You had to do something. Okay, do what you gotta do to get that bread in. We're not knocking you for that. And then your other brothers and sisters that are still struggling to come up the ladder, you start behaving in a condescending manner, like, oh, you're $1 million, like, oh, there ain't nothing like you in the whole universe. I'm like, oh, really? Change to and say you gotta be on money. You start trash talking. No, bro. I see them by the dozen. The moment they start pulling in 12,000, 10,000 pounds a month and stuff, they lose their minds. When you sit down in gatherings, when they start talking about their success stories, they get cocky. This is what I'm saying. They give a falsified version of their success stories.
Yeah.
Right? Make it seem like you, that we know that you forged your CV to get into financial sector. Then you start talking about, oh yeah, this industry, I fought tooth and nail to come. Will you keep quiet? You And then the brother who's still working in a grocery store is looking at you and thinking, man, this guy is living the life, man. I'm inadequate. I see them a lot. Even some of our brothers and sisters, they cannot even sit down like one-on-one with you, right, like this, and just be honest and say, bro, man, hey, man, look, man, this is how I went through the journey. This is what I did. This is what I did. This is why I'm emphasizing, be very careful of how you buy into people's so-called success stories. Those success stories are fundamentally flawed. A lot of them are deeply rooted in lies. And if you adopt that and use it, or maybe when you listen to a success story, just take what you can take from it and focus on your journey.
On your journey.
Trust me, And like I said, I'm sure there are people watch. Some people are, no, 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 what's this guy talking about? So look, it's not the fact that you're earning £600 a day. If you're doing that, bless you. Get the money, man. You're my brother. You're my sister. Get money, right? But stop lying. Stop blowing yourself out of proportion. Stop being condescending to other people. Don't make other people feel that tiny. Just because you got a little £20,000, £40,000, 80,000, you manage to get it. Because you know why? The so-called flexing of shoulders and wearing your fitted suit and Armani's and Gucci's, you know that you had to bend the process to keep a chunk of that money, though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God
Mm-hmm.
forbid, God forbid that the tax man come after you. You're busted outside. No, no, this is the truth. This is why there is unnecessary display of arrogance,
Arrogant.
unnecessary toxic perception of success, and pointless competition within our community.
Pointless competition indeed. Pointless competition.
Look at
Aimless.
this. You don't do now. What do you mean you don't do? If you don't want to watch it, go watch something else. I don't talk about it. Look, I appreciate that some might perceive this as inconvenient. Let me tell you, man, it's the only way we can get better as a people.
Yeah.
You don't understand. I as a content creator myself, when I sit down on the internet and I look and I look and I look at a lot of stories, I just shake my head. I just shake my head.
Terrible.
Because this is why so many people get caught up with, oh man, oh my God, oh this, I'm not doing, oh what, oh, that guy's got a house, that guy. It's very easy if you're not declaring anything and you are able to successfully funnel money somewhere, maybe just keep your head down and don't say nothing then. Or if somebody comes to you on a one-on-one, just be nice to them and help them. Rather than you take the story, you distort it as if, oh, I worked so hard to come. Yeah, right.
There's big bro, there's something I always have in mind when it comes to living a life, a successful life. Success is what you define it to be for yourself. Success is success is it has to be personalized to be able to know what it really means to you. All fingers are not equal.
Yeah.
And people yet haven't understood that. You see, they know that all fingers aren't equal, but they want to try and make all fingers equal. And destiny, your destiny, states that you are not equal to anybody. It's right on your palm there. It's right on your face. There is no one that is like you. No one who is going to be like you. No one is talking and laughing like you. You are unique, uniquely made. So for someone to just come up to your life and try to, sway you over to their own lifestyle and lifeline, and you just stylishly, or what I don't want to use the word, I'm not being offensive, but it's foolish,
Of course
you just foolishly go on that, and they start living another person's life, living another person's destiny, forgetting yours. And that is how largely 90% of population are living today. It's bizarre. It's paranoid. For me, it's an open war, because it's preposterous to see that families are actually, I have to say that, because a lot of times I'm moved by the pain, the trauma that women, especially women, are going through in their family, largely due to ignorance among many, because a lot of people are not educating themselves after university. They just get out of school, that's it. So even what they went to school to pass exams and get the certificate, so they can like say, I've come up with something. I've amounted to something. I have something doing, you know. But in reality, the journey of your life is not comparable with anybody. Your destiny is not matchable with anyone. So we all need to understand that we are unique species on earth. We have different, every one of us have unique purpose. Just find yours. Stick to your purpose. Stick to what you're here for. And if you have confusion about that, find a way to get clarity. You see, find a way to get clarity. A lot of confusion we face, and people are going through, whether at home, at job, and family. All of these things largely due to lack of clarity,
Of
lack
course.
of purpose. So when you were mentioning earlier on that when you know see these things that are this drama that is going on all through on the internet, and people are going through this drama, this, let's call it it's a trauma, not even a drama, it's trauma. You know,
Yeah.
they go through this trauma, and at the end of the day, you can find that largely is due to their ignorance, self-inflicted suffering and afflictions of some
And
kind.
this is also, to add to what you're saying, this is also what feeds into the, when I talk about the Western propaganda, right? It goes
Yes.
side by side, right? The misconception, because do you know why? That's why there's this aggressive drive. If you look at people in Africa, right? That's why when it's when a lot of people then get to the West, you get into the Western tax trap, then your eyes open. By the time you realize you're already neck deep, so you just carry on in that hamster wheel. You carry on. That's the situation for a lot of us, right? Because a lot of people that journey from Africa, even like I was saying in some of my a couple of my previous episodes, somebody who has a bungalow, has parcels of land, has X amount of millions, has businesses thriving. You get rid of everything and run to Canada, and you're a 40-year-old geezer. And then,
Largely ignorant, largely ignorant.
and do you know that, again, this is what I'm saying. You're absolutely right. The ignorance, yeah, is that thing that's really toxic in the mind, that they believe that those things that I've just mentioned, they don't see it as success. Like, oh, wow, I've done well for myself. I've been able to build a 4-bedroom bungalow. I have 2 parcels of land. I have this, I have that. I've managed to
Bro,
take this.
if I had that before, now I won't be here. I tell you the truth. If I had those access, what will I be doing? What will I be doing trying to get over here to do what? So I dish all of those things and then try to start all over again.
Thank you for saying that, man. I
And, and
appreciate it.
thinking is just gonna be much 10 times easier. Life
Yeah,
is hard everywhere. There is no part of the country in the world that you don't have to sweat for success. You have to work hard to succeed.
thank you.
There's nowhere in the world. It could be better system. We understand it. Like here now, obviously, better system. There are
No,
orders, there are laws and
let
orders.
let me say something
Yeah.
about this so-called better system. Whilst I understand,
I know you
no. Whilst I understand, because we've got to be honest, right? That if
yeah.
we look at our African countries, we might be lacking in certain areas. But
Yeah.
you see, what appears to be like gold in the Western system is all intentional.
Mm.
They reel you in. That's why you see what I was saying earlier. I'm deliberately actually going on the edge of these topics, because why do you think there is a shift in paradigm in like all these contracting industries? The IR35, the taxman wants a bigger chunk of your earnings. There is nothing wrong with people earning through limited companies and all that. What that allows you to do is you keep a lot more of your money into your pocket. And they're looking at it. You know why? The contracting industry is dominated by blacks and browns, ethnic minorities. And
Mm.
that translates to is, it means you as a black man, if you are in the contracting sector, you're taking on £10,000 a month, £12,000 a month or more. What it means is your family are going to have a good life. What it means is you can build wealth. What it means is you can put money and grow assets and pass it on to you. And the system we live in, both here and the States and everywhere in the EU, is actually not designed for that. They reel you in. They give you what appears to be, oh, there is constant electricity. It's not free. You pay for it.
You pay for it.
Oh, the roads, they tax you to death to keep the roads going. Oh, I have a restaurant. You pay business rates. You pay a lot of overheads to keep the restaurant going, inclusive of staff wages and all that stuff. So it's a well thought of system where they use you to run their system. You improve their GDP. They suck you dry. And then when you are old and gray, when you are so-called retirement age, they start to pay you pittance in the name of pension credits. And that's why they keep moving the goalpost, keep moving every 3-4 years. They tell you retirement age has been extended. Retirement age, because really, the government is heartbroken because they realize people are living a lot longer. They don't want you. They really don't want to pay you pension. They want you to actually pass away. So they do. I mean, that's why there is ageism. That's why somebody who is in their very early 20s, companies will say, oh, yeah, come and work for us. You might be in your 40s, and it's not because you haven't got the brains, but they're already thinking, this guy is old. He's in his 40s already. Oh, talk less than 50s. Yeah, that's why there's ageism. It's a form of discrimination. So short of what I'm saying is, the system is designed in the West to benefit them. Does that make sense?
It does. It's obvious. Obviously, yeah. Obvious.
And this, bro, what I'm even talking about now is it's almost like a battle I'm not going to win. This has been put in place for
you know that already.
That's why it's important for them that the African economy remains on its knees so they can keep infiltrating and taking and stuff. So when our people are blinded, when they are blinded with their arguments and defending the West unbelievably, that's why I keep shouting about, I understand Africa, back home we have our plethora of challenges, but in the midst of all the so-called challenges, you've built a home for yourself, you've done X, Y, Z, you have 10 million naira, you have 20 million naira saved. You get people talking about, oh yeah, but the government, the government could turn up tomorrow and frustrate you. Some people actually come to the West for peace of mind. The West for peace of mind. Please tell me the peace of mind that black folks are actually enjoying in America as we speak. Let's not go into details. Everybody knows this. So whilst I understand that there are certain facilities or things we can say, oh, okay, fair enough, this works and stuff, but don't blow them out of proportion. You will never find a Russian that lives in the UK. Yeah, Russia is not the greatest when it comes to human rights. You will never find a Russian sit down and tell you, oh, the UK is better than Russia. Russia is terrible. The UK is the best in the world. Never. You will never find a German sit with you and say, oh, the UK is better than Germany, Germany is terrible. Never. They are adamantly patriotic. There is nothing you can say to a Russian or a Polish person. They would tell you Germany is better. They would tell you Russia is better.
It's better. Italy is better.
Even though you, as a smart gentleman, can sit down and say, okay, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that I don't like about Russia. But it's only the black folks that take everything about them, put it in the bin, and we raise our hands up about the West. The same West that's bending you over and obliterating your rectum. Excuse my French.
Oh my, boy,
Oh, hold on. Let me read some of these comments. Yo, go and show your love to Mr. Charles, my brother's YouTube channel. I put the link there. Please subscribe. And somebody said something about, dude, it's a capitalist system. I know that already, man. You either have what it takes to thrive in it or not, but you cannot compare to any place in Africa. I'm in the US and wouldn't switch it for any place. That's good for you, man. Afridamus report. I understand capitalism to the T. You understand me? I don't care. You're within your rights to be in the US. For me, there is nothing spectacular about the US. Okay? It was built off the back of slaves, and in fact, enslaved black people. And they have a blatant disregard for black lives. All right? Similar things happen in the UK. So you can praise the West all you want, my guy. My guy. You can carry on. You're within your right. I'm a black man till I die, Africa till I die. I don't care what anybody says. Believe me. Nigeria has its plethora of problems. That's a common knowledge. We're not delving into all of the governmental issues. But bro, I will align with Nigeria till my dying day because I'm a black man. That's where I came from. I'm from Africa. All right? I'm not blinded to the governmental failings or the corruptions. And come on, man, that's a common knowledge. Even a 5-year-old will tell you that, oh, XYZ is happening. But you know what? Africa till I die. Never. You can't look, you cannot lay a claim to the West. You can't. Oh, please look at this guy, man. Who's this guy, man? America wasn't built off of slavery. That's a fact. Oh, dude. Oh, dude, man.
Reserve your comments. Reserve it.
So, anyways, he has his right to, to his own views, but we know that's
you're right.
So, yeah, man, bro. Any last words so we can wrap up these?
First of all, I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to. In fact, we those who are following your YouTube channel, we have been gaining so much insight for a long time, and I'm glad to be a member of your community, and I will always be. But and I thank you also for actually giving me opportunity to channel what we do on YouTube. And while we air our views like this. Now, family aspect, who are we? That's the point. What do we do? Our channel, we focus on helping young and aspiring families in handling family-related issues, relationship issues, and also singles, those who are single or single father, single mother. All of them are covered when it has to do with family. That's why we tied it family aspect. And we handle these issues, marriage related issues, or planning to get married, you don't know what to do, or you've been trying and you don't know what to do. These are the things we actually help people handle. These are challenges that we straighten out with our channel. Now, our channel, you will learn when you are there, you will learn so many strategies, all right? Wisdom per se to help you succeed in your marriage. Now, I'm not saying I'm completely there, all right? I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I've left. I could say I'm on a journey, and so far my journey is paying off. And with the experience I've gathered with all of these principles and wisdom that I've been applying, I think there are lots.
I would love to have a session where you get to bring your wife.
Oh, bro, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Don't worry, we'll plan that in the background. You bring her on, and we'll find a topic that works well that everybody can benefit from, and we'll have a nice live stream session with you and this. So, but I will discuss that with you in the background.
Awesome. That would be great. Yeah.
So please support my brother, please. All right. Go and join the channel. Show him love, man. Show him love. I love his energy. Show him love. We need to grow his channel. Go on, bro. Go on.
Yeah. So we know that there are these challenges. Obviously, living an exceptional marriage life, living an exceptional relationship life is hard work. We understand that. A lot of people try harder, but they just seems not breaking through, because it's like there's something lot there are a lot of things that they are missing out that, but they can't lay their hands on it. And that's what this channel is all about, to help you see some of those loopholes that you may just actually thought, oh, I didn't notice that this thing was like that. I didn't know that this is what I needed to do. So that's what we try to bring into the channel. So we know that the road to success in relationship and marriage is always under construction. So what we do, we want to help pave. We want to help people pave that path. You see, we are just contributing. We are just like constructors, all right, coming in to join into the construction to help build up a better life. So we understand that the human family is in crisis. Of course, you can tell if you are an influencer. You know what it is. We know what families are going through. So we know that individuals, we know what we are capable of doing. We know what we can do if we put our mind on it. So what we help people to do is to challenge their mind towards the right things, towards the right principles, instead of being carried away by the massive errors that swept over our community. And then everybody is repeating the same thing, you see. So that's what we are actually, so it's our mission to reach out to families in order to help create and maintain greater love and health in relationship. Is our mission, is our purpose. So we are committed to ongoing program of research and increase ongoing program of research that increase the understanding of relationship, and to add development of intervention to issues, challenges that may occur. So we are just there to carefully evaluate these things to help family grow. And that's what we do. Now, me and my wife, I met my wife now in 2000, yet actually 1999. All right. And we dated for about 13 years before we got married. Now, including that, within that 13 years, we have long distance and close dating. So I've had experience with dating someone close range and with distance dating as well. So I've been married. This is my 8th years in marriage, and I have 2 beautiful, lovely sons, amazing boys, and they're very loving. So we actually have something to talk about. It's not like I'm just coming here to just say, oh, I want to come up with a channel or something. No, if you check my channel, for those of you already there, you will notice way back 2010, I already did a video, and you can look at how I look there way back 2010 or way back 2009. I have videos. I've been talking about relationship because it's my passion. Is where God has helped me to gain some wisdom and sense, common sense. I will put it that way. That's common sense.
Nice. Thank you, bro. Guys, so let me talk to you about one more thing before we wrap it up, man. Thank you, Mr. Charles. One more thing. So, the Phrankleen podcast. First of all, thank you to those of you that have supported my podcast. I put the link on there. There's a GoFundMe link. I'm trying to buy, a couple of equipments to set up the podcast. And if you're feeling lucky, please follow that link and show your love, please. It's what do you call, man? I've clicked on something mistakenly. Right. It's a GoFundMe link. I've provided the link. Some people have already donated. I appreciate you. I'm thankful. If you want, look in the description of the video. There's a link to my Cash App or PayPal. I'm just trying to buy a couple of a mic and this Rodecaster Pro thing so I can start rolling out podcast content. Because you can't do podcasts without having a proper, it's all about sound quality and all this. So I looked into it thoroughly. What's the cheapest way to have a mini setup, for me to roll out? I'm dying to get started, but some people have already started laying their support. That's the link in there if you're interested. So yeah, it's a GoFundMe link. There you go. So that's that. It's a wonderful session.
Yeah.
Great having Mr. Charles on. Make sure you go check out the channel if you haven't. Like I said, I would definitely bring him back again very soon. So yeah, that's the topic. It was a very heavy one on my mind based on the story sent to me by the brother. Thank you so much for listening, for your contributions, and hopefully the next session I'll be able to let people, log on and share their views. Please don't forget to support the Phrankleen podcast once again. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Charles.
you. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell button, and select the all option. Basically, that alerts you when my video is live and when a live stream is on. So from me, from Mr. Charles, have a
Thank
good
you
evening.
all. Thank you. Peace.
Peace and love, man.